Live. We're doing a twofer this morning. Well, good morning, Scarlett. We're doing a twofer. We got just on my cell phone. I am on Facebook Live and here on YouTube. Also, we walked through the valley of the shadow of death. I heard that. I repeated that so many times when I was just a child. They were building me up. I don't want anyone to follow me. I want you to all to walk by my side for truth and justice. Good morning, Lions. Good morning. I got lots of work to do today on the house. I got so many projects. I really do. We're getting them done though, one by one by one. We're getting the projects done. So Robin has a nice place to live. Thank you so much for sharing my story. You've been sharing it all week, and I've been sharing it for I think going on 9 and 10 years now, over and over and over again. You get the people that don't believe, and that's the people that haven't done their research and haven't looked into all the evidence I'm throwing out there. And then you get the cabal. You get the members of the cabal. They're working on the road outside, so I hear a lot of yelling and shouting at generators or street sweepers or whatever's going on out there. Thank you all so much for joining. I don't have my watch, but I don't know what time zone you're in at 11:11. I'm probably not. Oh, here we go. I'm at 9:12 my time. So you must be on the east. All love, all love. Thank you so much for sharing. People can go on Amazon and look at the reviews. That's a good way for I try to share my story, and I just tell people the best way because it's such a long story. It's so complicated. I just say I wrote this book. Go to Amazon and read the reviews of what people that have read the book are saying about the book, and then you'll see a couple 1-star comments and negative that are placed there on purpose. People probably haven't even read the book, don't understand it, and can't comprehend the fact that I was kidnapped. And they don't understand that our government is the huge, biggest crime ring in the world. And they got all the tools and all the power to do their crimes and cover up their crimes. Well, thank you so much, Carrie. A lot of times it takes a few days for the reviews to get on there, but I think we're getting close to 500 reviews on Amazon now, which is way cool. It should be a million though. It really should. Every day we keep trying to share and grand rising to you on Facebook. Thank you so much. God wins. God is going to win. God always wins in the end. He really does. And come back. I'm believing. I'm manifesting, and I'm going to do whatever it takes so we can have a center, a church, a place to get organized, and we can all get the truth out and have me and my son got this house years ago. I think it was 10 years ago, and I was like, I'm making a stand right here in Bullhead City, right in the middle of. It's huge where I'm at. What I remember as a child and being here as a child in Bullhead City, Arizona. Yes, the story's getting out. I notice it each and every day. I notice new people making new videos, wonderful videos, sharing. And with that said, my first account on TikTok, I had 45,000 followers, and my story was getting too big, so they simply deleted my account. I started a new account. I had 2,500 followers, and first they deleted Robin's account, and then they deleted my account. Why did they do that? They're claiming misinformation. They're claiming that the truth is misinformation. Here's the truth right here. This one just came out. This is on Lulu.com. It's 1963 on Lulu. That's right, 1963. Everybody remembers what happened in 1963. That was the start of the takeover of the United States by organized crime. That's the JFK files in short. In 1963, my father was assassinated. It was the start of the takeover of organized crime to take our country from us. No sugarcoating it. No, that's what happened. And you don't know a lot of what happened since then. A lot of it was unalivement of my loved ones and silencing people. And these people are the billionaires. We have allowed billionaires and not politicians to run our country. We really have. We need to get rid of these billionaires. We need to get people that care about we the people and all the things that are wrong with this country instead of worrying secretly how to line their pockets and make more billions of dollars and keep screwing us. In short, that's what they're doing. And they use all their tactics and all their money to do it and keep themselves in power. Your vote doesn't matter. It hasn't. Your vote hasn't mattered since organized crime took over when they executed my father in 1963 to take power of the United States of America. Oh, Maggie, you got off TikTok? Well, screw TikTok. We're going to own TikTok when all this is over with. We really are. They're going to be shaking in their shoes, these people that run TikTok, for what they did and the silence that they try to, freedom of speech is no longer. It really isn't. Um, hundreds of emails to all our mainstream media, and they turn a blind eye because we live in a regime, and that regime is feeding us full of what they want us to know and not what we need to know. Roar. Hello, Brenda. Thank you so much, Colleen, Cindy. Wonderful lions on here this morning. If you got any questions, please feel free on YouTube to throw them in there. I can't really see the comments. Sorry to hear that, Maggie. Maggie is off TikTok, no longer on TikTok. What they do to silence these lions, they hold up this book and they are taken down, given warnings. They hold up this book and they are removed. Like I said, me and Robin both removed. Brenda so many times, so many great, wonderful people just for trying to get the truth out. But that ain't going to stop us. That's making people wonder what happened to John Kennedy's TikTok account. They must be telling the truth because they totally removed his account. The hell are these people yelling at out here? Excuse me, I gotta go see why these people are all screaming in the street working on the road. They're right up front. On the side road over here, they're actually laying that hot tar in the cracks and smoothing it out, and they must be yelling at each other because that's what some people do. They can't get together while they're working and be happy, so they got to yell and scream at each other. All love, people. All love. When I first came on, I said, "Oh, we walked through the valley of the shadows, the shadow of death." I used to repeat that. And why did we repeat that? Because I was in special ops, and it's programming. So you're not afraid when the bullets start coming at you, when the guy standing next to you is unalived right in front of you. It builds your courage. It's really sad because I was taught you leave no one behind ever. Um, your comrades in arms, your brothers, you never leave them behind. Well, all the things I learned as a child, all the things that I've learned, and that's me right there as a child. If you don't think they were training me for the special forces, the black ops, to be a soldier, to be brave, well, that's what they were doing. And it really makes me sad because our very own government left me in the field. You don't ever leave nobody in the field. You do whatever you can to get that person and take care of that person. And they left me. The United States of America left the son of a president in the field. Not only did they leave me in the field, they kept me in poverty on purpose. They placed me with a family. They used me. They used their mind control on me, their MK Ultra on me. But I learned. I learned the hard way. I learned how to survive. Thank you so very much. But I was also taught I don't want to be a leader out front. I don't want followers to follow behind me. I want brothers and sisters to stand by my side and walk next to me, with me, and we can do this. With that said, I'm manifesting a church. I really am. It's going to happen. I don't know how it's going to happen, but we're going to make an office. We're going to start organizing and get organized and get the story out, the truth out. What's really going on? What's going on in government? Um, there's so many causes that aren't getting taken care of. Child trafficking, that's done by these elite. I'm a personal eyewitness to that. That is done by the elite. And then you have the people like Epstein, the satanic people that use children to build up armies. And I was thinking today, I don't watch the news. I don't try to, but things pop up in front of my face on the internet all the time. And I seen a picture of Epstein. I remember Epstein because I met so many people in my lifetime being who I am. But I was thinking, in World War II, even on Aristotle Onassis's island, the Japanese had taken over that island. That's what the Japanese did. They took over the islands. Well, what did they do on those islands? They dug tunnels for their safety to protect them from the bombs and to keep them in power. So they dug lots and lots of tunnels. But I was just curious if how vast the tunnel system was on Epstein's island, if the Japanese had been there and helped dig those tunnels. I don't know. But child trafficking is huge within those people. It really, really is. And these leaders that we have now are all a part of the same thing. They are. I don't need to. I don't need to see what happened on Epstein's island. I already know what they do because I was tortured myself, being who I was by these people. I really was. It's no fun. They they tried to build armies from these children. They get these children to do their evil deeds for them, and there's so many of these people that do that kind of thing. But yeah, I really want a center. I want an office, a church, whatever you want to call it, a headquarters for the truth. And that name of that is going to be the John F. Kennedy Jr. Healing Center. That's the name. And somebody said our motto is going to be all love, no hate, no hate. We're not going to be hating people for all what they do. There's too much hate in this world. There really, really is. And yeah, with that said, all love, people. All love. I thank you so much for sharing. It's so appreciated. It really, really is. But child trafficking and kidnapping and the torture of it all by these elites that are running the country now, it's freaking huge. Like I said, I'm a personal eyewitness. I had to go through that. What they would do on these horror movies and things. Actually, they would bring me to Hollywood. Hollywood's huge cabal, huge cabal. I've seen so much in Hollywood. I've seen people unalived and every other thing in Hollywood, straight up. But like when they're making a movie, I have actually had and I believe the movie was Saw. But anyway, these horror movies, they use them as torture chambers. I believe it was yesterday I shared where this family I was had a torture chamber in their basement, and they had one of those stretchy racks in there also, where that you basically lie on a table. They tie your feet spread apart and your arms spread apart, and then they turn the crank and it stretches you out, and it's so very painful. That was done to me as a child, and people thought that was funny. They were basically older kids doing this, members of the cabal. And, I have learned so much of their tricks and their deception to brainwash these children and every other thing. But back to what I was saying, one of the tortures I had to go through was they locked my head. Basically, it was a dentist chair, and they strap you into this dentist chair, and then they had like a clamp that goes on your head, so you cannot move your head. They actually clamp your head down while you're clamped in this dentist chair, and then they get a drill with a big bit on it, and they act like they're going to poke your eyes out over and over and over again while you're sitting there like this, and you're watching that bit go like this, and they just keep doing it. Pretty soon you just pass out from exhaustion and horror because you think they're going to unalive you over and over and over and over again. But that is one of the tortures that they did to me. They've done many. I try not to let it all affect my thinking and all that, but they do this stuff to children. Like I said, even the Catholics, I was baptized when I think I was 3 weeks old into the Catholic Church. And I made a mistake because I said that was about all the Catholic religion I had yesterday. I actually was a choir boy in the church. They had me, putting the little robes on and carrying. But, it's very, I was so young. I don't remember a whole lot of that. But, yeah. But my whole life I spent in other, Pentecostal churches, and the Quigleys would bring me. I learned a lot of lies in the churches and deception of what they do. The cabal hides out in church. It even says that in the Bible. So if you believe in the Bible, then you believe what I'm saying. They hide there so they can do their dirty works for the devil, so they can do their dirty works for the almighty dollar. But there's so many, what is it, Ted Gunderson with the former FBI. He's not alive to this day, probably because he tried sharing the truth about the kidnapping and the children and what the elites do. But he was the head of the FBI, and he came out, and he died shortly after he came out. They said it was cancer. They love poison, and then they love calling it cancer. They love poison, having you ingest poison so it kills off your body, and then they just call it cancer. Thank you all so much for joining my live. I appreciate it. But like I was saying, I want a headquarters. I'm manifesting for a headquarters, a church, a place where people can come. I have been asked over and over again from people that need help, that want help, that have been victims of kidnapping, MK Ultra. But you know, if we had a headquarters, at least we could gather there and try helping some people and doing that kind of thing. But there's so many problems we have that we can work on. We'll let the problems come to us and then we'll work on them. But somebody said, matter of fact, it was Mike. He said, and I've said this before, he brought it up. I want to be a spokesman. That's right. The real John Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr., a spokesman for child trafficking, child abuse. There's so much of it done from these people that, with a lot of money so they can build their armies. And that's what they're doing, people. They're building their armies of children to do their dirty works for them. They brainwash them, they torture them, and then they ask them to do crimes later on in their life. Um, and that's how it works. They build armies. It's almost like a secret service, a secret society, and they use children that aren't their own bloodlines to do that. Yeah, I drive by churches. There's Bullhead City, I believe, has 50,000 residents here in Bullhead City, Arizona, and they probably have 50 churches. And out of those 50 churches, I'm driving by all the time, and I don't ever see any cars there, people there. I want people all the time to come to this place and help us out. And even if, somebody said the other day, well, I live in Tennessee or I live in Florida. Um, I can't help you with, yes, you sure can. You could write letters. You could throw them all in a bag, mail them to the church, and we could mail them off from there. There's so much things you could do. Everybody in Congress, everybody in the media, everybody in the Senate, everybody in government needs to know this story right here. And they need to know, hey, the real John Kennedy Jr. is back making his stand in Bullhead City, Arizona, right where Aristotle Onassis and the former First Lady was unalived. Straight up. They need to know, hey, he's right at a FBI safe house where the very own FBI told him he had to leave as a kid or he would be unalived by our very own freaking FBI. Straight up. They need to know. They need to know straight up, when I was a child, just a child, I saw Jimmy Hoffa in the back of a refrigerated 18-wheeler truck brought here to Arizona. The FBI spending millions and millions and millions over your tax dollars over the years looking for Jimmy Hoffa's body. Well, guess what? They're looking for him on the East Coast. These people ain't stupid. They do their crimes. The people on the East Coast do their crimes on the West Coast. People on the West Coast do their crimes on the East Coast. John Gotti flew back and forth. I knew John Gotti when I was a child. How do I remember John Gotti as a child? Because he knocked me on the freaking ground for disrespecting him. Yeah, well, he didn't actually. His bodyguard did. But these people are in our government. They must really screw up. Epstein. Epstein was a part of our secret government. Straight up. He must have screwed up. I think I knew how he screwed up, because if he didn't screw up, you would have never known about him. Our government would have kept covering him up, but he pissed somebody off. He probably unalived one of the other family members of their organization, their satanic cult, people. I've learned this. I learned how these satanic cults work. It's all about the money. It's all about the family. It's all about the people that swore in secrecy to the devil. They know if they talk, they will be unalived. I have no problem talking, learning what I've known. None. Because we, the people, need to know the truth. We really do. I sure can. Happy birthday, Chuck. 86 years old. I would love to talk to Chuck. I love talking to older people. Even as a kid, my friends were people from Vietnam. My friends were people teaching me how to work on carburetors on my automobile, and teaching me so very much. And they were always older than me. But happy birthday, Chuck. I hope you have a wonderful birthday. Stick around. Oh, he'll be 87. Right on. Right on. Mary Maxwell, she's going to be 78 here soon. She's the one that helped me get this truth out. She is so very intelligent. She really is smart. She's on the ball all the time, doing things. And actually, she's just told me this morning she's going to add 16 more pages to this book. 16 more pages. We talk all the time on the phone. She drills me for information. I tell her, and she told me today 16 more pages are going. All the information is wonderful that's going out. She's a go-getter. Mary Maxwell is a wonderful go-getter. I want more books out there. I want more truth out there. The more truth we can get out there, the more people are going to wake up to what's really, really going on. Hello, Paso Robles. I love that country over there. I love that country. All that produce coming out. Yep, it's beautiful country. It's too bad it's in California. It's too bad the corruption in California has been so vast. It's huge. Anyway, so that's what I'm manifesting for. There's so many wonderful causes we can make a noise, and I want to stream it 24/7. I already asked King Smarty about putting it live streaming it 24/7 on King Smarty TV. So that's one channel we could live stream the church 24/7. But if people have a wonderful cause, all these wonderful causes are all separate individual, um, and they shouldn't even soldier suicide, huge, huge. What could we do with the church to help soldier suicide, to get veterans to come and just so we can say, hey, we love you, fight it. Whatever's causing you to want to commit suicide, fight it because your life matters and we love you. All love, people. Veterans, these homeless veterans, what can we do? We have to change government. We have to hold our government. We have to hold people like Donald Trump and Biden and the Clintons and the Obamas and all these members of the cabal. They are all the cabal, people. We need to hold them accountable for allowing this homeless situation to continue, for allowing the people to go hungry while we're giving all our freaking assets overseas to be laundered by this organized crime group. That's right. Even the Bidens were involved in the Ukraine before the war. It's huge, the money they steal from us. It is freaking huge. And they're allowing us to go hungry. They're allowing us to be homeless. They're allowing soldier suicide to go on. They're allowing so much they're not doing. And then they praise you for what little they do, which that's their job. And they're putting it in the media that they own about what a good job they're doing when they're not. Yes, let's go. Let's go. We are all enslaved, and even as a child, I think it's in my book. This book is too sad for me to read. I was proofreading this book, and I would go and I'd start reading it, and I'd go to tears, thinking about my loved ones that were unalived and how I can't get justice, and all the things that aren't even in this book were going through my head. So I'd take a break and I'd come back, and I'd read a little more, and the same thing that happened like 3 times. And finally, I said, "Whatever's in this book, she knows what's in this book. It's wonderful." Mary Maxwell, she knows what's in this book. I don't need to read it. She called me up the other day and asked me about page 67 or something. I was like, I don't know. I'll look at it and see. And I was like, yeah, it's my story, but I share my story over and over again so many times. It's like mental. I like to just go work in the garden. Um, if I thought about everything that's been done to me, I'd go fucking crazy. Seriously, I would, because it's so horrible. It's so heartbreaking and painful memories that I don't like to think about it. I've always, when I was younger, I'd smoke a joint and just do construction work and just say, okay, I got to do this job and that job. And I was proud to be a hard worker. And then, you're busting your ass doing roofing, carrying 2x4s or bricks, laying bricks, all that kind of hard construction work. And people say, oh, you're not working hard enough. So then you got to try to work harder. But yeah, I've always believed in working hard. And we're going to work hard. We're going to continue to work hard to get this truth out. Brother Henry messaged me the other day. Brother Henry's a hard worker, and he was telling me his hands were all chapped from him working so hard and busted and messed up. And that's just the kind of guy he is. Very hard worker, and he still has time to share and make videos for me to get the truth out to the world. Awesome Lions. Awesome Lions. I'm proud to call Brother Henry my brother. I really am. I was just thinking about the John F. Kennedy Library and all the lies that are being told in there. My family Bible. You know what I would love? Everything has been stolen from me. Every single thing that my loved ones, my dad, the president, my mom, everything's been stolen. And, a lot of it has been stolen and put in the library. You know how great it would be, how wonderful it would be to have a church with my fucking family Bible in it. That's the kind of mental fucking shit I got to go through, people. Straight up. I don't even have access to my own family Bible because even the Bible had been stolen from me. I think it's placed in the Kennedy Library. Think about it. Think about it. Your loved ones, unalived, everything's stolen, and then they put the family Bible on frickin' display. We need to put a display of our family Bible, right? For the whole world to see it in the real John Fitzgerald Kennedy's church. Everything. It's crazy. But anyway, it's all about waking people up because there's so many people that are asleep. With these hater comments, it just shows how ignorance and things, the minds are so full from our media that don't tell the truth and every other thing, do what they're told. Crazy, crazy. But we've been working hard for years trying to get this. This is the year, though, people. 2025 is the year we're going to put our foot down. We're going to share. We're going to get justice for the world. Maybe one day I'll own that library. That would be awesome. That really, really would. Hopefully someday they'll expose all the lies of the takeover of the United States of America by the cabal and organized crime. But I'd be happy with the Bible in our church. The Church of the Lions, people. The Church of the Lions for truth and justice for all mankind. Anyway, thank you so much. You can go to the website. Man, I look like Mr. T with these. Robin got me these for Christmas and my birthday. I love these things. I always wanted a big one, never had a big one. And I've got a couple of them. This pendant right here, it's got the picture of stolen identity right on the front. It's like a little hologram on the front, just like this book. And on the back, it says, unveiling the real John Kennedy Jr. with the source directives. King Smarty donated these to me. He is the CEO of Source Directives for Healing Frequencies. Wonderful, wonderful guy. I see some people are falling off here, probably getting bored with me just rambling on. You can get the link to both the books at the real John F. Kennedy Jr.com. You got to spell it all out, people. Search it. The real John F. Kennedy Jr.com. There's links to the pendants. There's links to both books. If you can afford it, get a book, share a book with somebody, share a book with the library, send one to Congress, send one to the Senate. People all the time say, oh, it's so easy to get a DNA test. That'll prove everything. I've tried. I've spent thousands of dollars trying to prove my DNA. They don't want the story out, people. It's plain as day. If you want to learn about the book, you don't have money, go to the website, the real John F. Kennedy Jr.com. There's people that have read this book on YouTube. I think there's a link from to Dizzy that has actually spent the time to go chapter by chapter on YouTube. So you can click on YouTube and you can hear the story of the book for free. It won't cost you nothing. Nothing. Thanks to the wonderful lady that made my website. They're all just trying to help get the truth out and expose the cabal at the highest levels, what they have done to me and how they don't want the truth out. Anyway, you all have a wonderful, blessed day. I see a couple people have, I must have bored them. But anyway, I don't mean to bore anybody. Just trying to get the truth out. I hope you share. Make a video on TikTok if you have a TikTok account. Hold up the book. If you really love your TikTok account and you got all kinds of followers, you don't want to do that because they will kick you off unless you got the balls and just want to speak the truth. Do it. God bless you all. Thank you for joining Facebook. Please share. We love you. Lanny, you're awesome. You are. There's so many wonderful people on here. Isaac, thank you. Catherine, yeah. Kathy, Carrie, wonderful lions, wonderful, awesome, awesome lions. I thank you, sisters. I thank you, brothers, with all my heart. I could never do this, and we're doing it this year. We're doing it. God bless you. Have a wonderful, blessed day. I got all kinds of work to do. I ain't looking forward to it. I ain't. Anyway, thanks again. Peace out. Thanks, Maggie. All love.